Have you ever witnessed a miracle? Not a magic trick, not a fairy tale. A real-life, breathing, impossible miracle that makes you question reality itself. Imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a cliff. You have already fallen. The world has already written your obituary. But right before you hit the ground, you defy gravity. In the world of football, logic usually wins. The stronger team dominates, the weaker team crumbles. But on the 25th of May 2005, logic died inside the Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul. What happened that night was not just a football match, it was a psychological thriller that broke the minds of millions. If you think you know what pressure feels like, you have absolutely no idea. Let me take you back to a night where grown men cried, where the impossible became just another day, and where the greatest comeback in the history of sports was born. Welcome to another incredible episode of Total Football Nexus. Are you ready? Because what I am about to tell you will give you absolute goosebumps. On one side, we had Liverpool, a team built on pure passion, deep history, and a never-say-die attitude. But on the other side, AC Milan. Calling them a football team is an insult. They were a terrifying, unstoppable army of football legends. Paolo Maldini, Andrea Pirlo, Kaká, Andriy Shevchenko, Hernan Crespo. It was exactly like playing against a video game team with all the statistics completely maxed out. Nobody gave Liverpool a chance. Not the television pundits, not the sports bookmakers, and maybe deep down in their hearts, not even themselves. The referee's whistle blows. The biggest match of the year, the Champions League Final, officially begins. You blink your eyes and it happens. 1 single minute. That is all it took for the devastating nightmare to begin. Paolo Maldini, the legendary captain, strikes with deadly precision. A beautiful, unstoppable volley straight into the net. 1-0. Barely seconds on the clock, and Liverpool's ultimate dream is already bleeding heavily. You could actually feel the oxygen leave the giant stadium. But wait, the torture does not stop there. It gets worse, much, much worse. AC Milan did not just want to win the trophy, they wanted to completely humiliate Liverpool in front of the whole world. They controlled the midfield area like absolute puppet masters. Every single pass the young Brazilian Kaká made was like a sharp dagger through the heart of the defense. Then the 39th minute arrives. Shevchenko, moving quietly like a ghost, finds Hernan Crespo. Bang! 2-0. The Liverpool players look at each other in total disbelief. The fear in their eyes is clearly visible. The panic is incredibly real. And right before the halftime whistle, in the 44th minute, Kaká delivers a through ball pass so utterly perfect it simply defies the laws of physics. Crespo perfectly receives it, beautifully chips the helpless goalkeeper, and makes it 3-0. 3-0 in a major European final. Absolute destruction. The referee blows the whistle for halftime. The Liverpool players slowly walk down the dark tunnel with their heads staring down on the green grass. It's over. It's officially, painfully over. No team in the entire history of the European Cup has ever come back from a massive 3-goal deficit in the grand final. Not against a normal, average team, and definitely not against the mighty, invincible AC Milan. Inside the locker room, the terrible silence is absolutely deafening. You can only hear the heavy, exhausted breathing of broken athletes. You can physically feel the crushing weight of their massive disappointment. Thousands of loyal Liverpool fans who traveled thousands of miles are sitting up in the stands, completely broken inside. Some are crying uncontrollably. Why stay and watch your historic team get slaughtered on the biggest global stage of all? The Milan players are essentially already celebrating in their happy minds. They can almost feel the cold metal of the beautiful trophy. They are only 45 minutes away from absolute glory. But here's the funny thing about football. It plays strange tricks on your mind. Just when you truly think the story is over, the author suddenly flips the page. What if I told you that those agonizing 45 minutes of pure hell were actually a brilliant setup for the most insane 6 minutes of football ever recorded? How does a broken team walk back onto the pitch and do the impossible? We are about to witness pure madness. The second half begins. The Milan players step onto the field looking like undisputed kings. The Liverpool players step out looking like men walking directly to their execution. For 9 long minutes, nothing happens. It feels like Milan is just waiting for the final whistle to easily collect their medals. But then, in the 54th minute, a tiny spark ignites in the darkness. John Arne Riis swings a desperate cross into the penalty box. The ball floats in the air. Time seems to slow down completely. Steven Gerrard, the absolute heart and soul of Liverpool, leaps higher than anyone else. He connects with a powerful header. The ball flies past the giant Milan goalkeeper. 3-1. Gerrard does not celebrate. He does not smile. He simply waves his arms frantically, screaming at the teammates, screaming at the fans, telling them to believe. Can a single goal really change the entire psychology of a match? Before you can even process that thought, just 2 minutes later, in the 56th minute, the ball randomly falls to Vladimir Smicer far outside the box. Without thinking, he strikes it. The ball drills through the air like a guided bullet and hits the back of the net. 3-2. The stadium erupts into an absolute earthquake of noise. The impossible suddenly feels horribly real for Milan. The fear has completely shifted sides. Now it's the legendary Italian defenders who are trembling. The puppet masters have completely lost control of their strings. And then the absolute unthinkable happens. It's the 60th minute. Steven Gerrard charges straight into Milan's penalty box like a furious, unstoppable bull. Gennaro Gattuso panics and brings him down. The referee immediately points to the spot. Penalty! A penalty to tie the game. The immense weight of the entire world falls onto the shoulders of Xabi Alonso. He steps up. He breathes. He shoots. Dida, the giant Brazilian goalkeeper, brilliantly dives and saves it. But wait, the ball bounces right back to Alonso. With a massive, desperate slide, he smashes the rebound right into the roof of the net. 3-3. In exactly 6 chaotic, magical, completely insane minutes, Liverpool has completely erased their 3-goal deficit against the best team on the planet. 6 minutes. That is all it took to utterly tear apart the script of reality. The match goes into extreme extra time. The players are completely exhausted. Their legs are painfully cramping. Their lungs are burning for air. In the 117th minute, Milan gets one last terrifying chance. Andriy Shevchenko, the deadliest striker in all of Europe, gets the ball mere inches from the goal line. He shoots. The Liverpool goalkeeper Jerzy Dudek somehow wildly blocks it, but the ball falls right back to Shevchenko. From point-blank range, he violently fires again. It's a guaranteed goal, but Dudek throws his hands up in a pure, blind reflex. The ball directly hits his hand and flies over the crossbar. It's a double save that simply defies human anatomy. Shevchenko stands there, staring blankly into space, slowly realizing that a higher power is clearly playing for Liverpool tonight. The referee finally blows his whistle, the final whistle of extra time. Penalty shootout, the ultimate cruel test of human nerves. The stadium tension is so incredibly thick you can cut it with a knife.
AC Milan steps up first. Serginho nervously blasts his shot miles over the crossbar. Liverpool calmly scores. Then the legendary Andrea Pirlo steps up. Dida weirdly dances on the line, distracting him. Pirlo shoots, and Dida saves it. Liverpool takes a massive commanding lead. But Milan fights back hard. Kaka scores. Tomasan scores. Dida crucially saves a shot from Reese. The dramatic shootout comes down to one final breathtaking moment. 3-2 for Liverpool. Andriy Shevchenko must score to keep Milan alive. The man who missed the impossible chance just minutes ago now faces Dida again. Dida wildly dances on the line one last time. Shevchenko runs up. He nervously strikes the ball right down the middle. Dida dives, but leaves his trailing hand behind. The ball violently hits his hand.